Right line trading. We're going to be trading the AI Auto Trader. Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers, right line trading. We're going to be trading the AI Auto Trader. Before we do, I just need to get the CFTC out of the way. This is for demonstration and educational purposes. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed trade advisor. Okay. What I've done is I've put in my Apex account the NASDAQ strategy and the gold strategy. Those are my two best strategies, so I just went ahead and put those in my Apex accounts, and those are the ones I'm going with. And some really nice long positions I'm in on the Russell, the ES, all the index equities, basically. Trying to get the chat up. Bear with me for just a moment. That E-mini's flying. Market opens in about 8 minutes. We got crude inventory today at 10:30. I've got a crude oil play that we're gonna do. And other than that, I really don't see any news during the market during the trading hours. So we've got the crude oil inventories at 10:30. There's the chat. Okay. Good morning, Doctor. The position I'm in was a signal B on the NASDAQ, which is a trend trading strategy. And so far, so good. To the moon, NASDAQ, to the moon. And gold, I got off to a little bit of a late start. From my understanding from other people running the system, gold had a huge early start. I think it was up $600 or $800. Hey, good morning, Doc. Good morning, Charles Brock. Hey, Toby. Toby's with us from Louisiana. My brother went to Tulane and for undergrad, and I used to go and visit him all the time. What a great city. Love it. Great music, great food. New Orleans. So we're just waiting for the opening bell here and see how this plays out. But right now we're in long positions on all the index equities. And I'm also in a position on gold long. Looking for a kind of a reversal here on this entry. These are where we're at right now with our top strategies for the day. Right now we're in a long position on crude and gold. Everything is long this morning. I was looking at the NinjaTrader does a really great performance with collecting data as far as the entry times, what historically the performance is on your entry times. And I looked at the NASDAQ and, going back a month or two, that, market open, that 9:30 to 10 window is prime time, 9:30 to 10 on the NASDAQ. So I think for this, what I'm going to do for the rest of this week is I'm going to just crank up the NASDAQ right on my live accounts for that half hour, 9:30 to 10. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second here. I just want to see what happens on this trade. Hoping to get to 40 ticks. Once we get 40 ticks, then my stop goes to break even plus 11, I believe. And all the risk is off the table. But what's really nice, I heard Mark talking yesterday about the power of NinjaTrader's analytics, the analysis that they do. And it really gives you the ability to see historically what times of the day are, the prime time, the best times, the optimal times to trade that instrument. And I'd like to show that today in just a few minutes. Because I think it's really important. The E-mini's on fire. At ES on my top left chart could go all the way. There it goes. I just need it to pop on up. Oh. So I must have had a signal A. Let me close the position that went the opposite way. That's what happens if you have a signal A and a signal B connected at the same time. I will find it once this trade closes. Not exactly sure what I did. I have the signal B. Yeah, and the haymaker. have to close the position. Not sure which one's running now. Okay, sorry about that. Did it again. Ay. Let me look at the strategies. Excuse me for just a sec. Okay. See if I can find this position that's open. So we've got account 7 on the NASDAQ signal B. All right, I think I've got it straight now. I jumped into a trade on the 2-minute NASDAQ. Signal A, AI drone. We'll put the 30 range on. What had happened was I had both a signal A and a B enabled on the same instrument in the same account, which is never a good idea because you have the potential to get into two positions going opposite directions. So if you're trading on the same account, you just want to choose whether you want to go with a signal A or B. I think I've got it straightened out now. So I'm back in this NASDAQ trade short. Didn't do any damage. The account, was still up a couple $100. So we'll continue on. And the YM is signal BAI drone. YM is in a beautiful trade here. And I wanted to show you in just a couple of seconds here the performance, what I was talking about. Let me see if I can find the performance. Here we go. So my stop is at plus 11 now on that NASDAQ 2-minute. So I really can't lose on the trade. My profit target's in a really nice position. It's just a tick above that area of support. So we want to come down and see if we can hit that profit target. But I'm kind of glad that that happened with the positions on the Nasdaq, because it's important to know if you're using prop accounts and you want to trade the same instrument. Make sure that if you have an A and B entry, you just use separate accounts. That's all. You don't want to put the A and B entry on the same account. For a live account, you would just choose A or B. We got the 1030 play on oil. Let's see if the Nasdaq can put us on the board this morning. YM, man, that YM is gone. Boom. Got it. Full winner on the YM signal B. You know what? I think I'm gonna close it at 500. Well, let's keep it going. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm going to squeeze it here. We got $800 on our number 7. Let me see here if you can. All right. So you can see my total P&L on that after that Nasdaq trade on account 7 is at 815, and I'm going to continue to trade it, and Normally I stop right here, but I want to trade that crude oil play. That signal A. Let me see if I'm still enabled on it. Yeah, I am. Let's go back over to the NASDAQ 2-minute signal A is what it's trading. So what I was talking about with the performance is what I did was, give me just a moment. I heard Mark Miller yesterday, and Mark was talking about how Ninja's data is really a great tool, gives you some really useful information. And I always get questions from our traders, hey, which one should I trade? And I think something to look at that would be really helpful is if you pull up your performance. Like I have a performance right now. And I have each individual, when you get the system, we create a separate SIM account for each individual strategy. And using their trade performance, if you go to your control center, how I got this trade performance, in case you don't know, is on the control center, which is here. This is the NinjaTrader Control Center. I'm going to go to New and then Trade Performance. And if I click on Trade Performance, this is going to pop up. On the top left, there's a little hourglass. It looks like a golf tee that you hit a golf ball off of. That's the filter. If you click on the filter, you'll be able to see each one of your SIM accounts that are running in each individual strategy. So for this example, I selected the Dow 10-range signal B. And I'm going to put my dates for the entire month of March. And what this is showing me for the half hour of the day, when this strategy does the best, and the times to stay away from, that it just doesn't do well. So it's starting at 9:30. You can see from this 9:30 hour, I'm positive $124. Then at 10, I'm up 60, and then every day around 10:30, it does really very well, extremely well. It's up 1,300. So that first hour of the market, if you add up all three of those, they do extremely well. But then it gives you a good indication that the times between 11 and 12, well, that might not be the best strategy to keep enabled in my live account. So if I wanted to set it and forget it, I could go into my settings of my YM strategy, and I can change my trading hours to only trade between 9:30 and you can cut it off at 10:59. This way, you're going to eliminate these two red blocks right here. And then it looks like it picks up, and it does pretty well for the rest of the afternoon. But that lunch hour, I want to stay away from. And you would be able to go through each one of these and see what half hour does the best. And I notice on my NASDAQs, that half hour between 9:30 and 10, they all have these huge green bars. This one made $4,000 between 9:30 and 10. And that was that Signal B AI drone. So that strategy, when that bell rings, has been money in the bank. So I might just want to go and put my NQ30 range Signal B and just run it for that half hour when it does the best, 9:30 to 10, because in the parameters I can set my trading hours. just as an example, this is the NASDAQ. I can edit the strategy, and I could I could change the start and end time based on historically what my performance, the times that it does the best. I have a lot of our members say, hey, listen, I work during the day. I want to set it, I want to enable it and go to work. If you fall into that category, this system is completely hands-free. You could set the hours for the optimal times for each one of these strategies in your live account, and only trade during the best times of the day. So I think that's really powerful information that Ninja provides us. The more data that you use, the better off you are. To look at just a week or two, I don't think it's really as valuable as having a month or 2 months or 6 months of historical data. Then it becomes a lot more relevant. Only a week or two isn't very relevant information. So the more time that you have your strategy running and the more historical performance, the better this tool becomes of optimizing the trading hours. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. So we're back in a position here. Let's go back to our accounts. We're back in on the on that signal AI drone. So now I tried to take this reversal back to the upside. I took the winner on the NASDAQ and I kind of stepped aside now. But this is still our peak window, 9:30 to 10. This is the time that the NASDAQ really shines. But I think basing our decisions on the data is a lot better than our opinion or bias on which way we think the market's going to go. Great job, Toby. Listen, take that 450 and take it to the bank. Trade again tomorrow. Do the same thing tomorrow. For me, that's usually my profit goal. Today, I wanted to play the crude oil report. I wanted to put the news report on a funded account. So even though my account's up over 800, I'm gonna play the crude oil report. But normally I would call it quits. You saw I kind of squeezed that trade on the NASDAQ that came down. It looked like it was a good decision because it kind of bounced, but now it's headed back. And I'll tell you, Mark Miller and I, we look at the to see if we need to adjust the stops, and lock in some of these profits. And let me tell you something, letting the winners run is just so crucial to our overall performance. Cutting our winners short, it hurts. Those full winners are really what makes this a profitable system. So some of them will bounce back on us. But you'd be surprised how many times after they bounce, like this one's, you could see here if I was still in that short position, it would have bounced. But, chances are it'll find its way back down to the full profit target, and make me look bad. But that's okay because I'm happy with the 800. And we can't go broke closing winning trades. We just leave money on the table, which makes us a little sick. No, that's the hard part, Toby. I'm telling you, Mark and I talk about it every day. That's the hard part about this. The ones that we run in our sim accounts, we just don't touch them. We had a guy in our who's one of our members, the hardworking guy, And man, don't let him catch you moving those stops or targets. See, and look, now the NASDAQ is coming back down, and where I had squeezed that trade, it might just break right through and go all the way. And I would never be in this long position. So sometimes it makes a big difference. Let's see what positions we're in now. We got a nice position on gold. The E-mini we know we're in long. The big one is gold. Gold is back in. On the AI bot. See, the NASDAQ did it. And now that's a perfect example, Toby. But listen, I did what you did. I closed it early. And that's the emotion, eliminating the emotion in our trading. It's, whew. I wish I was David Wise. I had, nerves of steel like David Wise. He doesn't flinch. So we're still in a nice short position on the 30 range on our Signal A AI bot. Let's take a quick look at that trade. Short looks like the way to go today on the NASDAQ at the moment. But I think this proves the kind of the demonstration of that trade performance that I just showed you. I could have went through every single one of those NASDAQ strategies, and that 9:30 half hour from 9:30 to 10 is money in the bank. And today, it was no exception. It hit $1,000 trade between 9:30 and 10. So numbers don't lie. And that trade would have been a full winner right there. That ES trade came back and stopped us out, but we locked in $62 in profit. And what I'm going to do for the crude oil, for this crude trade, and I just want to say trading news reports can, obviously be a little more risky with the volatility that the news reports create. All right, the cash cow's up 275 today. You can see our strategies here. Just about all the index equities are all in the green today. And then we also have crude oil and gold up there. Crude oil's at in a trade now plus 90, and gold came back actually. It's in a big trade now, but it was down 300. I started a little late on gold. Had I started at the right time, it'd be up significantly. So my strategy for crude oil is I'm going to trade like I did last week. I'm going to trade one strategy in the micro crude with 5 contracts, and I'm going to trade one entry in the regular crude with one mini, one CL. And we'll take both entries, the A or the B. So we'll see how that pans out at 10:30. Oh, no doubt, Toby. No, listen, you're doing great, man. Toby's a great guy. He's also a member with Dave on our credit spread service. So he has 2 really nice equity streams. He has the AI bot, and he has and he's a member of our option service. Yeah, so once you do accumulate some data with the system, using that tool that NinjaTrader provides, that performance tool, really gives you, some great information. After looking at the numbers, it was a no-brainer to trade the NASDAQ between 9:30 and 10. I'm telling you. Our team goes through the data like a fine-tooth comb. And we have a special closed-loop system that optimizes the stops and targets that we can manually run the data through. It's also running in real time with our bots and drones, but we can also run it manually with the data. But having that extra analysis that NinjaTrader provides really gives us a really great insight into our performance. You can see historically the gold nugget. And we're in this long trade now, right around 9:59, 10 o'clock. Historically, it's telling us, pre-market it has a green arrow, a green block. It's up 584, and then between 10 and 11, it crushes it. Does very well. Let me move this over. Still in this, the NASDAQ is still in a free fall here. They're selling off the NASDAQ in a big way. Oh, thank you, Toby. We love you too. Yeah, Mark, thank you. It was I can't take the credit though. If anything, I got in its way again. Let's see if we're in any short positions on the NASDAQ. Nope. Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with having a NASDAQ strategy that works from 9:30 to 10. You get traded a half hour a day, and then spend the rest of the day at Look at the institutional money's just selling off the NASDAQ, huge. The volume just spiked. Sometimes when this happens, if I want to take a discretionary trade, I'll wait for a retracement on my 30 range. I'll wait for a retracement back to the 50 and then jump in short. But those big, huge spikes in volume, that's the large institutions selling off the NASDAQ. I'm a little surprised that my signal B didn't jump in the NASDAQ. So here now we're going to get this little retracement. So this is the play I was talking about. Nice, Doctor. Amen. Dr. Ken got 460 on a discretionary trade. Done on that. Continuing with auto. Great job. Big sell-off. See what positions we're in. Gold is long and everything else is short. The Russell Gold's been a really hot strategy, I'll tell you. It's not going to win every trade, but has a really nice equity curve. So yeah, Mark was, he lets the strategies, he keeps them enabled, which is what I'm going to start doing. Because our gold strategy, it really starts extremely early. It starts at 5 a.m. So if I can get that data analysis, running at 5 a.m., starting at 5, I can get a good indication of, hey, what is the performance like on gold, even earlier. And do I want to start enabling my live account in that gold strategy earlier? Because I certainly don't have to be in front of the screen. I could set it all up on autopilot, which is really nice. And what I could do is we'll set up the crude oil on autopilot. We know the report's coming out at 10:30. So if I go to my strategies, now the 30 range jumped into a short move here. We're going to set up a few strategies here in just a moment to run automatically for the news report on crude. That haymaker gets a little room. It could be off to the races. Come back down to this area of support, and that's all the room that thing might need. Yeah, that's the hard part. It's getting that wiggle room. So if I go to my control center, I'm going to go to my strategies. And what I'm going to do is I have a crude oil strategy set up right here. One for crude oil on a signal B, and one for MCL on a signal A. Okay? And I'm going to take the signal B, and I'm going to set it right for exactly at the news report. This is kind of an aggressive decision to make, but I could start it right at 10:30, and this one is running on the CL, and it's going to use a one contract strategy. It's going to risk $150 to make 900. All right, so we'll let that. And you can see I changed my trading hours to start right at the news report. And if I want, I could let it go for, let's say, 30 minutes. I could put this on 11 a.m. Now it's going to run between 10:30 and 11. And it's taking a signal B entry. And I'll enable that. And then I have the MCL. And I'm going to set this for 10:30. And it'll stop at 11. And this one here is trading 5 micros with a 15-tick stop and a 90-tick profit target. And this is our signal A entry. So let's see how this works out. Haymaker went short. Let's see if it can find its way now. Toby, I'm glad you made that 450 because now you can, build that account up. Build that account up some, and then you can be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. There's nothing wrong with taking those winners. That's the wiggle room we were looking for. They're going to retest this area of support and see if they can break it. Now, if they get through this area of support, this thing could fly. Looking for more than 3/4 of a candle to break through, to break that pivot. Yeah, I really like that plan, Toby. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Just pop through it. Now that thing is gone. And that's why we call this strategy the haymaker. Just like that. Pulled in a few losers, kept us in the game, and boom, we're up 1275. That's the excitement of this system, the power of it. Retrace a little bit more. Now the retirement plan went long. The Russell looks like it's breaking out. I tried to stream from. I was in Fort Myers Beach. I know I have this beach background, and I was going to try to do a real beach background yesterday, but couldn't get it working. So my profit target, my stop just popped up to be break even plus 11. So on this NASDAQ long, which I was a little nervous about, all the risk is off, which is comforting. And now we have the potential to hit our full profit target. Worst case scenario, we'll make 55 on the trade. We're about 15 minutes away from our crude oil report. And all the index equities look really good today, gold included. That's signal A. If this keeps going up, that ES might pop in up at the top left. It's looking like it found a bottom here. Okay, Toby. Have a great day. Great job today. ES is slowly retracing back to the 50. On the 30 range, it's already broke through. You're welcome. Have a great day, man. Okay, 10:19, almost 10:20. We got about 10 minutes for our crude inventory report, and we'll see how that plays out. Last week we caught a nice little short move. Wow, look at that Russell. There's the haymaker back in short. Now it's going to roll. And we got our prop trader today. We have a professional prop trader on our team, Kush. And Kush is going to do a presentation this evening. He's going to show exactly how he's able to successfully managed 6 funded accounts, and he's been making a killing with these prop firms. Last year, and he journals every trade he takes. He really treats it like a business. Very disciplined, conservative trader. Very rules-based. He sticks to his rules. He doesn't bend. A lot like David Wise. And that's, the successful discretionary traders. That's how they do it. They put themselves in a mental zone, and they just follow their own rules, and they do it again and again and again with no deviation. They find something that works, and they stick to it. For people like me, this is the system to go with. I'm just not one of those people. I love the AI auto trader. I can work during the day, and I'm better off when I don't watch it. I like to do the analysis with the numbers and see which instruments are doing the best and what time they do the best, and I'll set it all up to run on its own, and I'll do my best to sit on my hands and not get in its way. All right, 10:24. We got 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to go to crude oil. Russell retraced, and hopefully we get this bounce and continues up. Now that's the trade right there. I like that short position. But who knows? You never know. The retirement plan. With the way the market's been moving on this big downtrend, you would think another short roll would be a good way to be. So let me get set up for the crude oil. I wanted to open another chart here. I hate to leave this Russell trade. It's looking so nicely. See if I can get the so building a chart. What I did was in the data series I put in crude oil on NinjaTrader. On my top right are my chart templates. So I'm going to go with this CL or MCL 15 range black gold. That's our crude oil. And it trades a 15 range, so in my data series I would put it on 15 range, and then just click OK. And now my black gold is up, and I could put this on my Apex 7. So I have it here on the CL, and then on the MCL, I want to load the same chart template. So I'm going to go to this black gold with image. And once that crude oil report comes out in about 3 minutes, we'll see how that strategy works out. And what I'm doing, I like to, on my Laguerre, we don't really look at fractal energy. Fractal energy, I just make that transparent. And I just look at my RSI line. That's our trigger. And that's our assessment of momentum. So I like to load just the RSI line. I disregard the fractal energy. Usually for an entry, you want a fractal energy to be headed down. You want it to be declining, but it's not something the system looks at. So we're set for that one. So we'll see how this crude oil report comes out here in just a minute. Very low volume. Extremely low volume. If they weren't doing the crude oil inventory, there's no way in the world that I would even try to trade this right now. Who knows? It could be a dud. Wondering if I'm in. Oh, there it goes. I just saw some movement. Not much. You can see the CL is turning about 1,200 contracts a minute, with the micro not even half of that. So it's not very liquid on the micro. Probably isn't a good idea to try to trade 5 contracts. So crude oil was kind of a dud today. I think I'm going to go ahead and disable those. Yeah. Okay, we tried. Oh, and look at our Russell. It went all the way up. So that Russell did come up and hit our profit target. This cash cow strategy. So that cash cow strategy, if you saw what happened, if you missed it, I'll show it to you. The entry was down here, right when the RSI line crossed, and it took a long trade, and it came all the way up, and then retraced. And let me tell you, anybody with any type of human emotion most likely would have closed that trade quickly in this retracement. But this ATM strategy kept us in the trade. and it hit a full winner on the Russell, which is a really big target. So just a beautiful trade to put that strategy up 620 for the day. And we're still in the gold trade. This gold trade very similar to the Russell. It went all the way up on us towards our profit target, and then it did that same retracement that we saw with the Russell, came back down, and now it's headed back up. So no more cutting your winners short with this system. In fact, the Russell is our top strategy of the day. The Signal A Russell is up 1121. Looking to get this bounce here. Let's keep an eye on the Dow. The Dow runs on a 10 range. And let me see if I have the Dow Diamond template. There it is. Oh, the Russell is just headed up to the moon. So I'm showing my NASDAQ retirement plan up at the top right here. And it's in this long position. in a lot of winning positions right now. We need a good stiff breeze to blow this gold up through our profit target. So this top strategy on Russell, and numerous strategies did well on the Russell, is this Signal A AI drone is up 1150. So Cush's webinar, I had mentioned Cush earlier, and then I kind of got lost. I want to put a registration link. If you've ever traded if you've never traded a prop account, listen, right now is the time to give it a shot. Apex Trader Funding is running an 80% discount, and I'm going to put our coupon code and our link in the chat box, and I'm going to give you an invitation to today's prop trading webinar. Our professional prop trader, David Kushner, has 6 funded accounts. He runs our prop trading program that includes all of the tools, all of the tools that you'll need, all the indicators and signals on your charts, tutorial videos, along with his guidance. You'll be in his room with him taking trades. If you're a good discretionary trader and you're interested, I'm going to put the information in the chat box in just a second here. First, I want to give you for Apex our 80% off. The reason I'm bringing that up today is today's the last day of their 80% sale. And listen, for pennies on the dollar, for a $50,000 account, I think it costs $33. So for $33, you could jump in and jump on our AI Auto and put it on that NASDAQ tomorrow at 9:30. And for $33, you can make yourself $1,000 very easily. Stop this out here. Let me get the link for you. And he's going to show you exactly how to successfully pass those evaluations. And then once you are funded, like he is, he's going to show you how to extract profits very consistently. He has a very conservative methodology. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I saw Mark Miller last week using his Apex accounts on our AI Auto was able to lock in $8,000 using a trade copier. So for Apex, here's the link. You would first go to their site. The trigger on the 2-minute. Let me finish my train of thought here, Walter. I'll tell you in just a second. On the 2-minute long, are you talking about the... What the trigger is the cross of the RSI line in my oscillator along with market internals. We need market internals in our favor, a shift of momentum, the RSI line breaking through that 20 or 80 line. The RSI line is this pink line. Right now it's locked to the downside. But if it was to come up and cross that 20% line, it would put us in a long position. It crossed right over here, and it put us in that short position. And that's what we're currently in. So here is the Apex website. 80% sale ends today. Now's the time to load up on these accounts and get yourself a recurring subscription that also rebills at 80% off. And then at checkout, you just want to use this coupon code that I'm putting in next. Today's the last day. Hold on, let me put that on a notepad first. Excuse me. Let me give you a coupon code for 80% off. And I'm going to answer your question in just a second, Walter. I'm going to show you. And for this evening's webinar, let me see if I can put in the registration link. How to pass a prop trading eval. Even if you can't make it live, it's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Even if you can't make it live, if you register using my link, you will automatically be sent a recording. So 80% off on your Apex evals. We're going to guide you through with our prop trading program. And David Kushner this evening is going to show you exactly what that includes. And I think it's important to know, what distinguishes us from a lot of our competitors is our transparency. You don't see a lot of our competitors, on the right edge of the market showing their system. And we do things a little bit differently here. And David Kushner trades the right edge of the market every morning in his live trading room, part of our prop trader program. He takes discretionary trades. He's running our premier discretionary system. What I'm trading here today is our premier automated system. If you've had trouble with consistency in the past, and you just make some, I like to call them bonehead moves, like I do all the time, where I close trades too early or get in at the wrong time or don't let my winners run. we have a solution for you with the AI Auto Trader. This is our premier automated strategy. Okay, Walter, let me answer your question. The trigger on the NASDAQ 2-minute long. Both of these NASDAQ charts that I have up are both on the signal A. So the trigger of this trade would have been when the RSI line crossed below this 80% line. This pink or purple line in my oscillator, once it crosses through, the trade jumps in on a short entry. And that's the trigger. For a long position, it would kind of be vice versa. If the RSI line that's buried down now to the short side, buried, in the oscillator, if that crosses above the 20% line and we get a shift of momentum and market internals start pushing the market higher, that's our trigger to jump into a long trade. Does that answer your question? So this is the 30 range is in this short position, and we also have the 2-minute in this short position. The 30 range gets in quicker. It's a little bit faster of a chart. A 2-minute chart, a NASDAQ, can do 30 ticks in just a few seconds. Where the other is a 2-minute chart, and it gets more of a confirmation. It's a little bit more conservative. But the 30 range will certainly get you in much quicker. So they both have their advantages. Okay, you're welcome, Walter. This one's out. My 30 range is still in the trade. And gold is caught a little bit of a wind here, and it's blowing up towards this profit target. So tonight at 7 p.m. is David Kushner's webinar. The Kush will be showing our prop trading program for discretionary trading. This has just been some trade here. If you've been watching it, it just hit our profit target actually. So that golden nugget, I'll show you where it got in. I think you'll be amazed. Let's open it up. It looks like it took the entry right here. At about 9:20. Anyway, it took the long right about here. And it rode it, retraced, up, retraced, and finally a beautiful target. I believe it's 90 ticks. 90 ticks on gold, a $900 trade. So we were able to absorb a couple of losers and then finally come back and get a full winner, and we're up 600. So we won 1 out of 3 of these trades, and we're up $600. So with this system, if you can win 33% to 40% of your trades, you're going to do extremely well. Another big day for gold. Gold's really been hitting it out of the park. Let's go back to the Russell. That's my 5-year-old if you hear crying in the background. Enjoying her spring break. That's what we need. We need that roll. Here we go. Here we go. Just need a little follow through now. Getting chopped up here. Let me see. Okay, so we got the Dow and the NASDAQ that we're in positions on. We're back in a Russell trade, I think. No. YM. Well, the NASDAQ is trying. It's looks like it's consolidating here. Well, we got our wiggle room. We got our wiggle room on the NASDAQ, so now we just need a strong wind and blow it on down. Those moving averages really act as another level of resistance. You see it bounce right off our 50. Sometimes it'll bounce right off our 15. Earlier, when I was showing the analysis of the breakdown of each half hour of the day, it's important to know, and Sergio pointed this out to us, is that we want to put it on our entry time. So the calculation is based on the entry time of the trade, not when it closes. So this entry time is when it will calculate on our on our performance for the half hour of the day. Well, this is turning into a real nail biter here. I was asking David Wise about that new, the new ticker that Donald Trump's social media company merged and went public. And the first day of trading was yesterday. It was up at one point. It was up about 86%, and then there was a huge sell-off. And I asked Dave about it, and it's kind of like one of those meme stocks from, a few years ago. They had GameStop and a few others where they were trying to do the short squeezes on stocks that really didn't have, the true valuation wasn't anywhere near where they were trading for, which is the case with Digital World Acquisition. With the shares of stock, they have it valued according to the shares of the stock at $5 billion with a B, but the company only brings in $4 million in revenues. So he told me, look out below. So they had some enthusiasm yesterday, or the first day. It might have been Monday. I apologize. I've been out of town for a day or two. But I'll take a look on my browser what it's doing today, just out of curiosity. Well, come on, NASDAQ. Come on down. And the Dow. I was going to let these two trades play out, and at least the NASDAQ trade, and then call it a day and see where we're at. Digital World Acquisition. It's up 12% today. But for me personally, I'm going to stay far away from it. Well, I thought we were headed in the right direction. We're getting another bounce here. Volume is kind of waned, and this is that the hour of the day from 11 to 12 that looking at the numbers on our analysis, this is the time to take a break, go eat lunch. Between 11 and 12 is not really a great time to take your entries. And this is why. And we'll either call it a day right when this trade ends on the NASDAQ or 11:30, whichever comes first. And it was a really exciting day. I wish the crude oil report brought a little bit of volatility, a little bit of action, but it was deader than a doornail. And what I was thinking of doing for tomorrow is, since today's the last day of that 80% sale, I was going to get a couple of accounts. And part of the sale is it's a 1 day to pass, where normally you have to trade over 5 or 7 sessions in order to qualify. But with this special sale at 80% off, you could qualify in 1 day. And since they're only $30, I was going to get a couple and put them between 9:30 to right at 9:30 at the market open on the NASDAQ, and trade it with 4 contracts and try to qualify in 1 day. For $30, I really have very little to lose. $30 to be exact. So the potential reward is just so much outweighs it. Okay, so tomorrow I hope that you'll join me, because we're gonna do an experiment. And we're going to put the either the 30 range or the 2-minute on the NASDAQ, and we're going to look for our sweet spot, that window, that 9:30 to 10 window. And we're going to try to goose it with 1 trade and get qualified. Since today's the last day of the 80% sale, we'll give it a shot and just see how it pans out. So I hope that you will join me tomorrow. I think it'll be fun to see. Looking at the Forex Factory tomorrow, the calendar, take a quick look, see if there's anything that'll spoil our plans. Tomorrow morning, Thursday, March 28th, the final GD unemployment claims at 8:30. And it might actually be good for us at 9:30. It likes to have volatility. That's what the numbers are saying. And at 9:30, that's when you get that burst. Then we have the final GDP, quarter over quarter, at 8:30. 9:45, Chicago PMI. There's a lot of reports tomorrow. Pending home sales, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. And then finally at 10:30, right in our window, is natural gas storage. So quite a few reports tomorrow. We're going to give it a shot. And today you can see our top strategies of the day. I traded the NASDAQ 2-minute. And the NASDAQ 2-minute put $800 in my Apex account. I kind of made a mistake that I think everybody saw. I had, but we still wound up with $815. So it was, it worked out great. The system gave me a couple really nice trades. But the top strategy of the day, and I heard Mark saying it yesterday, was the Russell, the Signal A AI drone on the Russell, was the #1 strategy. The 30 range Signal A did extremely well. This was the NASDAQ 2-minute. For me, gave me $800 in our peak window. Gold continues to do well, and the Dow. So those index equities, including gold, with exception to the ES was nowhere to be found today. So with the ES being the exception, all the index equities traded extremely well, and gold. But come back and join me tomorrow. We're going to trade the AI AutoTrader, and we're going to take advantage of the Apex sale today. We're going to get a couple of 80% off accounts, and I put a coupon code in the chat box. If you use our coupon code, we would really appreciate it. If not, that's okay too. But we want you to come and check it out tomorrow because we're going to, I'm going to do a little due diligence, see what the max is on the, I think if we trade 4 contracts and we go for 180 or 200 ticks on the NASDAQ, I think one good trade will put us over, maybe 3 contracts. And we're going to try to hit our target in one day. For $30 of risk, why not? And we're going to do it to commemorate the last day of the 80% off sale. So do join us tomorrow. It'll be a fun day to watch. And I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Let me just look over the chat, make sure I didn't miss any questions. Oh, yeah, Brandon, the 80% ends today. It's 80% off and 1 day to pass. It ends today. And, hey, Dr. Hanson, that's great. Your ES is 785. I don't have that. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at my ES strategies. I didn't see positions on the ES all day, so it might be me. But congratulations. Have a blessed day, Dr. Hanson. Congratulations, Brandon. Yes, to answer that question, yes. The 80% sale ends today. I put our coupon code in this chat. If you go back and take a look at it, it's not an easy one to remember, so you might want to copy and paste it somewhere. Head over to the Apex website and jump on a couple of those 80% off deals. And tomorrow we're going to put them on the NASDAQ in our peak season, in our peak window of opportunity. And that's right at the market open at 9:30. We're going to let it rip, and we're going to try to get qualified in one day. If not, then we lose $30, and we'll do it again the next day. So I hope everybody has a blessed day again. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.